Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. My plan was to actually work on this 200M today, find out what's wrong with the ignition system. But sometimes plans change. I got a text from the guy I got the first 200M from saying, hey, I actually have a second one if you're interested. You know, I'm after $800 for it. And I took a look at the pictures he sent, and I said, well, I really can't go anywhere near 800 on it. My other problem was my cash was running a little bit low. The best I could do is 650 bucks. So I bought a second 200M. I think I might have paid 650 bucks for a $500 machine now, maybe even less. I don't think I got such a great deal on this guy. So let's take a look at it and see what kind of trouble we actually got ourselves into. So let's climb right up here on the truck and become a little bit more like one with the machine. The story he told me is that this was always kept in a garage, so he seemed to know a little bit more about it. I'm not quite sure where he got it because he didn't know everything about it. The front tire is one of those Pro-Ams. I think it's a replacement because the back tires definitely were. The front suspension appears to be here. That's quite a find once again on 200Ms. You guys could see what's going on with the front fender. Not only is it sun checked, it's cracked, so it didn't quite spend its entire life in a garage. It's got somewhat of a throttle, somewhat of a dashboard. The it's got two sets of switches here. Always interesting. This actually, it's kind of hard to find this intact, especially with the little starter button here. So that's good. Obviously no headlight. We got a certain amount of hacking to the wire harness. The gas tank is here. I'm seeing putty here, but yet it's pretty clean inside. So there's that. He put this seat cover on here. Looks official. Didn't do a very good job. In the land of starter, you could see the recoil's here, but it's got no cord in it. You can see the shifter's here, but he's got no bolt through it, and that looks like it's off of a some kind of motorcycle. Missing a bolt here. Not all those are proper. Yeah, if I start to cry, just give me a minute to catch myself. The plastic is more intact, and it is 200M plastic. You can see that's a little bit of a mess. There you go. You can see that's a little more of a mess. The trunk is here, but it's not quite as pretty. There's the recoil. Hopefully all the guts are in the recoil, because if not, that's really gonna hurt. And just quickly, the back, right, no tail light. The axle bearings feel okay. It's a little ripped up. Those tires don't look right. They look a little small. The tires are Dunlops, and they are 2110H. Yeah, they are small. There should be 25 12 9s on this thing, like the front. So those back tires aren't proper. On this side of the engine, I already took a quick look at the oil. There is oil in there. It's got a little meltdown action going on here, and you guys could see it's missing the exhaust pipe. So I didn't do as good on this one. And now for the answer why. Well, first of all, he was asking for 8. I got him down to 650, and I thought that, I did pretty good. So, I kind of confused myself with my own success. So that's a little bit of strike 1. Strike 2. He had another all-terrain vehicle, a Polaris Sportsman that wasn't running. Cosmetically, it looked pretty good. He said the carburetor was shot and he couldn't find another carburetor for it anywhere. Interesting. That kind of surprises me that they don't make clone carburetors for the Polarises. But anyway, so that's what he told me. So I was distracted by that, and I was distracted by a secondary deal that I also grabbed. So instead of looking at what I was buying, I was distracted by this. This is a front fender off a 200 ES Big Red, and that's a back grab bar off a 200 ES. So I was trying to work that out, and I ended up getting those two for a gasoline card from Shell. I get these gas cards all the time at one of my local supermarkets. Depending on how much food you buy in a quarter, they give you 3 months. And we just came off the Christmas quarter, so to speak. If you buy enough food, you get a free $25 gas card. So I gave him the free card worth $25, and he gave me those two things. So while I was paying attention to all this other stuff, I wasn't paying attention to what I should have been paying attention to, and it might have cost me money, quite honestly. So let's finish this discussion real quick before we drop it down. It's missing a bolt there. These tires, particularly when you see stuff like that, really aren't all that great. So I don't start off with, any real value in the tires. The front wheel and tire are obviously worth something. The forks are worth something. The handlebars are worth something. So I got a little bit up front, but back here, these tires, nothing to brag about. So the gas tank and seat are off. Let's keep looking here. That's off a kid's bike. That's not the right slide for this. Yeah. If this is gutted, I've really got a situation going. If that's dead, right? You guys see there's no exhaust pipe, and to go a step further, there's a broken bolt there. We got the trunk. It's not as good as the last one. Here's the stuff that was in the trunk. You guys can see the ripcord is shot. Well, let's do some math here. The tire and front end, I don't know, let's call that a couple $100. The throttle, even though the rest of it isn't there, it has some value. Let me pull the recoil off, see if it's worth anything. The recoil is off, and just quickly, right, something was like rubbing on this. It's ground up pretty good, and the spring is in there. But this looks pretty sad. I'd call it a $50 recoil. Hopefully he didn't mess too much down in there. Here, let's pull that CDI cover off, see what it looks like. Well, this is not good. Obviously that should be bolted on. What's missing is a little pin. A lot of times when people lose the pin, they drop them into the engine, which is not good at all, right? Wire connectors. Feels like there's compression behind that. That basket is sharp. I don't want to be spinning it. I don't want to end up bleeding. At least the shifter isn't stripped. I paid too much money for this. It would have been a much better deal at somewhere around 500. This one, believe it or not, even though the back plastic is there and it's the right plastic, other than that, it's not in as good a shape as this guy. I think this guy's got greater potential, believe it or not. Right? The wire harness really isn't in better shape. I mean, this is a hack job, right? That advance is a scary situation. Though the dashboard is here, and it's got a key that says Honda, and it appears to work somewhat, right? I mean, that's nothing to be proud of. It's nice to get the switches, but I'm going to assume that they put a second one on here because it was dead, right? I got nothing going on with that carburetor. Yeah. Oops. I didn't do as well. Even, it seems that everything they touch, they messed up. Amateur mechanics often do this, right? Gas tank is good here and there, which is nice. But like they broke the end off the valve. Seat cover's on there. This is kind of a strange seat though. What happened to the front? Right? I mean, it seems to go on, but that seems a little strange. Yeah, I paid this, right? And I have no exhaust. I took a quick look yesterday right after I bought it. The exhaust header is like a $40, $50 item, so that's needed, right? Let's assume I get air into the back tires and they hold. Let's talk about value once this is running. Call it $1,000 machine just for a number, just to put something on it. But to go from 650 to 1,000, I got to put an exhaust on it, right? Call that $50 if I just kind of hack up. I buy the pipe and hack the rest of it. Right, I'll get the chain guard completely off of there, so that's not ugly. Let's say I can save that recoil. I got to put a carburetor on there. There's 25. Batteries 50. I don't know. I can easily put a couple $100 into this machine. That takes me from 650 to 850. Call it 9. Right? There's always some surprises. Yeah, this was no home run. You could probably hear it in my voice. I'm a touch disappointed, but what are you going to do? You take your chances and you pays the consequences, I guess. Hopefully out of this deal, though, if I could get the Polaris cheap, right, then I bought that guy, this guy, and if I get a good price on the Polaris and I get it running, I've won. Everything... I thought I got a really pretty decent deal on that one, but what I theoretically saved on that one, this should have been 500. I spent 150 or or more too much on this. Anyway, I gotta tell you, when you're playing this game, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You just gotta get used to that idea. Anyway, I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. We'll be working on these later on in the week, so please come back to see. And in the meantime, feet down, heads up, get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.